UFC Vegas 110 was a bit of a sketchy fight card with what may have been a fixed fight, but I can almost guarantee you that UFC Vegas 111, with the extra scrutiny on top, will be one of the most stable betting cards of the year. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my bets for UFC Vegas 111. And while my bets are typically pretty solid, the king of the castle lately has been Jacob. King Jacob, if the only thing you ever do is watch this video, you may not even know that this red-headed furry beast also exists on this channel, and he also is placing bets, and he has been doing so in spectacular fashion as of late. He has put up 11.05 units of net profit and a 21% ROI over the last 6 events. He had a stumble at UFC 321, but outside of that, he has been cruising, including last week, which was kind of a mess with a couple of weird circumstances in the co-main event, the Norma Dumont decision, and then obviously the Isaac Dulgarian allegations. All of Jacob's bets are on our website, wewantpicks.com, and we have more than just some bets on the website. We have a whole suite of tools. We have a line movement tracker that will give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every fighter on every card. We have a prop hunter, which is a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. We have a fight simulator that simulates fights 100,000 times and gives you those outputs, but what I love using this for is the individual statistics along the way. Like how many significant strikes a fighter is landing in these 100,000 simulations. I take that number, I go to my favorite sportsbook, I compare that number to the sportsbook's number, and depending on where they align, I will bet the over or the under. Every single one of those tools, every single one of the bets, not just mine, but Jacob's, Bet Sam's, and the artificial intelligence, are available right now on the website, and not just for this card, but also future cards. For $10, you can unlock every pick, every bet, every tool for an entire month. That is $2.50 a week. That'll get you UFC Vegas 111, UFC 322, UFC Qatar, and UFC 323. It is the greatest offering in this space. Add some tools to the bag. Give yourself a leg up. Let's enjoy these damn fights. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Let's go ahead and talk about this card specifically. So, 2 different narratives going on here. One, everybody's all up in arms about the Isaac Dulgarian situation and the idea that he may have fixed the fight. And maybe he did. It's not looking too good. But I would not be worried about fight fixing going forward, because right now, and honestly for the foreseeable future, it will have the most amount of eyes, the most amount of scrutiny, and the most amount of attention that it has ever had before. If anybody's even considering fixing a fight right now, they're an absolute idiot. So in 100% sincerity, I hope if Isaac Dulgarian did this, still allegations at this point, I hope he goes to jail basically forever. I hope everybody involved goes to jail for as long as humanly possible. I hope it destroys their lives, their family lives. I hope it is so bad for all of them that nobody will ever consider doing anything like that ever again, because this juice is just not worth the squeeze. With that being said, the FBI paying wild close attention, we can expect some of the most stable refereeing, most stable decisions, and most stable fights we have seen in an insanely long time. That's narrative number 1. Narrative number 2, this is a tough-ass card. This is a tough-ass card. UFC 322 next week, I'm not going to say easy because these are still fist fights, but far more straightforward than this card. But if I'm looking at the card and I'm identifying some favorites that I trust, some underdogs that could get it done, that's what we've got here. We got Jacqueline Cavalcanti. You hate throwing women in the confident favorite list, but she's the far better striker. Her takedown defense should be good enough. Mayra Silva is just kind of going to come forward, desperately try to get takedowns, and then on the ground, desperately try to get submissions. Luckily, this is in Vegas, and we have found out many times over, Las Vegas doesn't care about your wrestling. Empty takedowns won't matter here. So if Jacqueline is having some success on the feet and then she gets taken down, it shouldn't matter. We just saw that with the Norma Dumont-Ketlin Vieira fight. Norma was dotting her up. Norma was having success. She got taken down a handful of times. Judges said, I don't give a shit. Josh Hokit. He is an All-American wrestler. He's a former NFL player. He's just a big, strong athlete. Striking's not great, but he'll bounce around on his toes. He'll run a blast double right through your chest, and then on top, he's going to hammer away. Just Donkey Kong, like just try to bash your face in and destroy you, hammer away. That's the good news. The bad news is he is fighting a world-level BJJ guy. I still trust that Josh will take him down, smash the shit out of him, and all those fancy jiu-jitsu moves won't matter when you're being slammed in the face. But if Josh ends up on his back, completely fucked here. Then we have Ricky Simone. I know Ricky Simone's a somewhat inconsistent guy, right? I know he's lost fights he should have won. I know he's gone out there, not had success in every single outing, but I also know he has insane power in his hands. He's got great cardio, and he will shoot takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown. And that's all we need here. He is fighting 5-time Brazilian national champion Hani Barcelos, but he's 40. He's slowing down. And yes, he was able to rock Peyton Talbot's world, but that was just with old man takedowns. He also got out-scrambled on the ground a handful of times. That's not going to be the Ricky Simone fight. This -163 seems pretty affordable right now. And then Marco Tulio. This is actually a tough fight. I fully recognize this is a tough fight. And when I get to the bets on the next slide, you're actually not going to see a Marco Tulio bet. But this is a hard card. And if I'm looking at this, my confidence in somebody doesn't always directly translate into a bet. I think Marco Tulio wins this fight. I think he's better than Christian Leroy Duncan at everything. I think he's a little bit better of a striker. I think the takedown defense is better than the offensive takedowns. I think the jiu-jitsu is going to be better. I think Marco Tulio wins this fight. I don't love the 2-1 odds, but I do think he wins this fight. Solid underdogs, you could list everybody on this card. Obviously, Tecia Pennington is going to be at the top of that list. Tecia Torres, formerly, is good at everything. She's fought the best women on planet Earth for the last 15 years. She's very fast, very athletic, great cardio, good at everything. And I think she could absolutely win this fight. I did pick her to win this fight. Miles Johns, same thing. My only concern with Miles Johns is the fact that he fades after 1.5 rounds. I have no doubt in my mind that he will win the first round. And if he also wins the second, then he's just coasting. He's going to come out. He's going to bomb a little bit. He'll shoot some takedowns. But as he gets tired, he'll get a little sloppier, a little sloppier, a little sloppier. Miles Johns is a great underdog here because while he slows down and gets sloppy, he doesn't quit. Chris Taco Padilla. He's fighting Ismael Bonfim. Taco Padilla is pretty good. When he first came into the UFC, everybody shit on him for being a regional guy without a good record. Now here he is, 5 UFC wins in a row. And he's just a gritty, durable guy. He's not amazing at anything, but he's durable. He's gritty. He will get in your face. He'll try to get some takedowns. He'll strike with you. He's not a quitter. And I can see him having some success in this fight. And then Randy Rude Boy Brown in the main event versus Gabriel Bonfim. If Rude Boy can manage the range and avoid the takedowns, he can dot up Gabriel, get him a little annoyed, frustrate him a bit, make those shots come from farther and farther away, and have some success because, again, Vegas doesn't care about wrestling. We have seen this more and more. If Gabriel's getting touched in the feet and then he gets a couple of empty takedowns, that should not affect the scoring. You guys have made that clear. The Athletic Commission's made that clear. The judges have made that clear. So let's go ahead and stick with that logic. I think Randy can absolutely win this fight. Here's a look at my actual bets. There's only 3. There's only 3. There are likely more coming. It's at the halfway point of the week. There are likely more coming. But what I don't want to do is force bets when we have a spectacular card next week. I don't want to force things just so that a spreadsheet looks a little more filled out when next week I'm probably going to have double the amount of bets that I normally have. So I went with a lot of things that I trust. The safety parlay is -131. That hit last week at plus money. The safety parlay has been more plus money. That I'm wording this incorrectly. The safety parlay has been plus money more times than not in the last, I think, 3 to 5 months, something like that. I heard the feedback. Feedback like, yeah, it hits, but it's, it's -200. This is -180. All right, fine, shit stick. I gave you plus money last week. That hit, -131. I actually, on a card like this, I am very confident in that safety parlay. You can check it out on the website, wewantpicks.com. Couple of other bets we got going on here. Ricky Simone and Josh Hokit. 2 guys that I am comfortable get it done. I think they both win. They are plus money together. I almost made that the safety parlay. The only reason I didn't is this is Josh Hokit's UFC debut, and it's just a tiny bit nerve-wracking when you have somebody that good at jiu-jitsu and your goal is to get the fight to the ground. But that is a plus money parlay. That should hit. I debated actually making 2 safety parlays and throwing that up there as a second. And then we have the Chris Padilla plus 3.5 points. I tried to do plus 3.5 on 3 different fighters. If you don't know what plus 3.5 is, you're buying points on the judges' scorecards. You're betting the spread effectively. The way that math works itself out, for the most part, there's obviously random nuances, but the way it works out is the fighter you bet on needs to win at least 1 round. At least 1 round. So if we end up in a decision where Chris Padilla loses a 29-28, we cash. If he wins the fight in any method, we cash. And I think Chris Padilla could absolutely win a single round in what should be a competitive fight. I tried to do the same thing with Miles Johns, which would have been a guarantee. That shit's minus 260. Tried to do the same thing with Tecia Pennington, which should be a guarantee. Also a very expensive bet. If you want to lay out a ton of money for those bets, I am almost positive. I would say 90-something% of the time, those will come back cash. But I tried to place those two, didn't love the odds, so I'm sticking with this. But remember, the website isn't just me. Jacob has given you 21% ROI off only his bets the last 6 events. Jacob is crushing it. Here's a look at some of the other bets on the website. You can unlock all of them. There are 17 plus units of bets on the website this very second, and you can unlock them for freaking $10. And it's not just copy-paste bets. We have a whole suite of tools to help you find your own spots, do your own research, save you time, add convenience to your life. Just go to WeWantPicks.com and click Become a Member at the top. We have future bets, 4 units of future bets. One of those units is a money line for next week's UFC 322. We do have a Miles Johns money line on the board right now at plus 155. Beat some of the line movement there. We have a submission prop at plus 165, a KO prop at plus 375, and BetSam's Slam of the Week at plus 118. BetSam's Slam of the Week has been remarkably accurate. That single bet is hitting, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I would say it feels like 80% of the time. So check out every single one of these picks, a million other things. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. And if you need a couple extra bucks in your pocket, go to the link on the screen. Use the link on that page. Sign up, make a deposit. We'll send you $50 as a thank you. Whole bunch of options. It's affiliate marketing. You'll use the link. We'll get a one-time payment. I'll slice off some of that. I'll give it right back to you. Easiest thing in the world. Use the link on the website. People always ask, what's your promo code? We don't have promo codes. We use links. So go to the URL, use the link on the page, and you'll be off to the races with your $50. And here's the 4 cards coming up. These are 4 spectacular fight cards. You could argue that this card, UFC Vegas 111, isn't exactly earth-shattering, but I would then very quickly argue that next week's UFC 322 is the best pay-per-view of the year. We have a legitimate super fight in the main event, a legitimate super fight in the co-main event. We have a handful of number 1 contender matchups strewn throughout that fight card. Then we turn around, we go to Qatar for a number 1 contender matchup at lightweight. Then, I don't know if the Thanksgiving break is between then and UFC 323 or whatever, but it doesn't matter because in a 1-month period, you will also get UFC 323, which has the fastest turnaround any UFC champion has put in a calendar year. This is the 4th title defense from Merab Dvalishvili in a calendar year. He's the only person to ever do that. I do think that stat is a little bit of bullshit because we have seen Alex Pereira defend his belt 4 times in 1 year, but his was 12 months, where this is an actual calendar year, not just 12 random months. We got a bunch of MMA left in this year. Check it all out. Good luck this weekend. There's never been a better time to be a fight fan.